Welcome to Christmas morning in the women's college basketball season. Time to kickstart 2019-2020. The St. Andrews Knights, one of the best three-point shooting teams in all of NAIA basketball, here in Gore Arena against the Campbell Fighting Camels back at home to open up the new campaign, coming off a tie for their most wins in program history. Plenty to be excited about. We'll have offense on full display. Two high-scoring teams that both set records for wins this past year. That said, let's get the erasers out and start a new season. Alongside the Hall of Fame coach, Wanda Watkins, Evan Budrovich with you tonight. And, Coach, if you are Ronnie Fisher, what are you expecting to see out of your club to open up the season?
Well, I know Coach Fisher is going to want to see some high energy out of his players. There's not going to be a problem with that. They're excited about the season opener. But anytime you see a Ronnie Fisher team, whether it be practice or whether it be in a game, you know they're going to always be emphasizing defense, rebounding, and taking good care of the basketball.
Let's focus on some key players in tonight's matchup, and we'll start with St. Andrews. Samantha Ring made 95 threes last year. How could she impact this offense?
Well, she's quite a scorer, quite a three-point shooter. I know Campbell wants their three-point field goal percentage defense to remain true to form tonight as one of the best in the country.
Campbell's defense top 10 in the country last year against Samantha Ring. And Haley Barber, the three-year starter. How does the all-conference guard impact this basketball team?
She's calm, she's cool, she's collected, and Coach Fisher's going to want her to continue to be that way throughout the ups and downs of this season.
Haley Barber, a three-year starter at the guard position. She'll be in the starting lineup tonight for Ronnie Fisher's unit. Here's the full starting lineups for Yvette Sparks of St. Andrews. Courtney Rowe, the starting point guard, leads this unit. They won 16 games last year and have a win already this season. 94 points they've scored, an impressive start to the campaign. As for Campbell, the Sunbelt Reynolds starting lineup for Ronnie Fisher's club. 4 guards, including Shai Tua, the all-conference sophomore. How does she impact this program?
She can solid shoot it. She's fun to watch because of the offensive lift she gives her team. It's going to be exciting to watch her throughout the game. Both she and Barber, leading scorers, returning.
Well, here we go. Thank you for joining us here on ESPN Plus. Evan Budrovich and Wanda Watkins with you for the start of a new college basketball season. St. Andrews starts with the basketball. The road club from Laurinburg, North Carolina, out of the NAIA division. Working it right into the post on first possession. Melvin's pass is taken away. That's Luana Serrano in this rabid Campbell defense that goes right to work. Drawing a foul is Lauren McNamara Clement, but she traveled before the play. And that's what Campbell wants to do, force turnovers. They led the Big South in scoring defense last year.
Yeah, they forced turnovers, and it looks like they're going to really have an up-tempo. Good push up the floor that time by Campbell.
St. Andrews scored 90 points in their season opening win over Regent University. Here's Courtney Rowe, the point guard, part of an offense that returns 3 starters from last year's team. Melvin gets a quick touch in the post. Shot clock down to 5. Back to Melvin, and hits the first jumper of the new campaign.
That was a really nice H-out by Melvin, stepping up when the guard drove. Her defense stayed with the guard, so she took the jump shot.
Haley Barber, the senior here, operating the point, down to McNamara Clement. The junior out of Raleigh kicks it around. Here's Kiana Spates' first 3 of the season, and that's strong. An offensive rebound by McNamara Clement. Campbell as a team averaged 59 points last year. They only gave up 56. Here's Serrano with her first 3 of the season.
Well, she's not wasting any time putting that one in the hole. And for our viewers out there, you know, noticing that on that offensive rebound, we got a 20-second reset that time.
Point of emphasis in college basketball this year with the reset and a traveling violation on Dominique Cook for St. Andrews. You see Haley Barber, one of the 2 all-conference selections for Campbell coming into the season. Now, of course, a lot of that is preseason rankings that can come and go. But Barber took her game to the next level, averaging 15 a game in the Big South tournament.
The longer Campbell played, the more solid and consistent she became.
We see Barber going right to work in the paint and drawing an early foul in these opening 2 minutes.
It's what makes her so valuable. She can slash and get to the basket. She can score on the perimeter. She can pass and make her teammates better.
Haley Barber from Summerfield, North Carolina, the senior. And a quick start with her first point in this contest. Haley Barber, as her team kept winning, she kept performing. 20 points in her final game to end last year in the WBI semifinals.
Now Campbell's extending their defense here, coming out with a lot of pressure.
Ronnie Fisher implementing that press this year. And you see Serrano on the ball against Courtney Rowe, the point guard. Contested dribble for Rowe into the corner. Melvins feeds into the block. This is Dominique Cook. And that defensive intensity picking up for Campbell as the shot clock ticks under 10. A slip into Samantha Ring, our player to watch coming in. Melvin goes up with the left hand, misses short. And Kiana Spate feels the pass break and turns it over. Here come the Knights. And a foul on Spate, contesting the pass, aiming for Courtney Rowe.
Both teams really a little bit anxious right now. Both teams pushing. Both teams being a little bit careless. But a good up-tempo as we start this game.
Ashlyn Hampton checking in for Campbell. You see Courtney Rowe there from Sandrock, Alabama. And Hampton, the first sub, one of, might be 10 or 11 deep for Ronnie Fisher's team tonight. Campbell's not afraid to play a full second unit.
No, they go really deep. Coach Fisher's an advocate of using those players and going 10 or 12 deep into his lineup.
That's the third turnover of this first quarter for St. Andrews. They had no trouble scoring in their opener. 95 points, and they hit 18 threes. Back comes Campbell offensively. Serrano swings it out to Spate. And the first triple of her Campbell career for Kiana Spate.
How about that for the freshman?
Spate, the transfer from Davidson, started 3 years and is now right in for Campbell. As here's a turnover with Serrano coming up with it. Out in front to Tooley. Don't count the basket, but free throws on the way for the aggressive sophomore. Shai Tooley, a 76% free throw shooter last year. That was best on this Campbell team.
It's like instant when she goes to the line. She's just such a tremendous shooter all the way around.
Tooley in high school from Hampton, Tennessee, led her county in scoring. And showing a quick reason why. Here's a slew of substitutions for St. Andrews. Yvette Sparks not afraid to go to her bench early on. And you see there number 20, Hannah Brigham, the talented freshman, check it in. She's out of Wilmington, North Carolina.
Looks like both teams are going to go deep into their bench.
This is a 9-0 run for Campbell after giving up the first basket of tonight's affair. And we see Sam Allen, our lead referee, talking over with Elizabeth Crow. And now a quick check with the official scores. There might be an issue of an improper substitution here. So now Elizabeth is talking with Ronnie Fisher, Campbell's head coach. And there's going to be a technical foul for an illegal player not properly entered on the scorebook. And we're here with former Hall of Fame coach Wanda Watkins. You certainly know how important it is to get every player right and lined up as you check in for the first game of the season.
Wow, it really is. I can remember one year when I was coaching and we started a basketball game where there was like 4 or 5 technicals called at the beginning of the game because somebody forgot about number changes.
So instead, Shai Tooley gets a couple of free shots from the free throw line. It's a one-shot technical, so Tooley now leads Campbell in scoring tonight. 3 points early on for the sophomore.
See how St. Andrews players off the bench handled this pressure by Campbell. It's pretty intense. Inline to inline.
This is Aquara Johnson trying to break the press and finds a relief option. Now into the front court comes Brittany McDonald. St. Andrews, last year, they averaged 64 a game. Trying to get their offense going here in this first quarter. And a foul underneath as Hampton reaches in, trying to defend Aquara Johnson. Campbell committed the least fouls of any team in the Big South last season. And bringing the likes of Hampton off the bench can help.
And that's amazing with the defense and the caliber of defense they play.
Forced by this Campbell defense. And now Kiana Spate running the point on this possession. Working it into Hampton in the post. And a 3-second in the key called on Hampton.
Well, you got to go quick when you get it. You got to shoot it or get out of there when you get it, if you've been in there already.
Ashland Hampton started 15 games last year. Was coming off the bench in the first game here in 2019.
Hardy player. Coach Fisher really likes the heart of that young lady.
St. Andrews scored their first basket from the field, but they've struggled since. Another turnover with Spate.
Good help off defense by Spate that time.
Slips it into
Nice
Hampton.
pass.
And a perfect finish by the junior.
Tooley showing her versatility on threading the needle on that pass. Beautiful.
This is a 15-0 run in these last 2.5 minutes. St. Andrews searching for answers with Samantha Ring, their leading scorer. Intercepted by Tooley, a 2-on-1. Tooley to Spate, deflected, and Ring forces the turnover. Here comes Destiny Carteret. Destiny kicks it out. Here's a 3 on the way. That is strong. Spate the rebound. The miss there by Harmony Davidson. Spate a long 2. And both teams struggling to shoot in this first quarter. St. Andrews right now 1 of 3 from the field with 7 turnovers. You see Ronnie Fisher preparing his bench for a massive substitution. And in the meantime, Samantha Ring heating up from long range.
She can do it, I tell you, and she had a hand in her face that time. Spate had a hand in her face, but you can't give her an inch. She's just a very confident scorer.
94 threes for Ring. That's a program record last season. Speaking of triples, here's Serrano coming up short.
Ups, they got Ashland. Got a Hampton on the push, I believe, on that.
And that's an offensive foul on Ashland Hampton, her second foul. As both teams now bring in a flurry of substitutions early in this first quarter.
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of everybody tonight here, early on.
I would expect all 12 players for Campbell to get major minutes. As you see the freshman there, Svenja Nuremberg out of Luxembourg. Just need a third rhyme and it would flow right away.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Svenja about that this year. Nonetheless, the Knights, who made their first shot, are now 2 of 4 from the field. Tight pressure. This ball is stolen away by Michaela Coleman. She's fouled going to the front court. And we have our first media timeout of the opening quarter. Campbell's defense forcing turnovers early, and a 13-5 lead as we go to break here on ESPN+.
I want it.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why. You say
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Bon boy.
Discover the new language of travel.
Bon voy.
Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences. Rewards reimagined.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Don't mind me. It's a feeling out process. Campbell, 7 turnovers forced in this first quarter and a 13-5 lead. You see Ronnie Fisher chalking it up, and he's battling Yvette Sparks in her 5th season. Yvette, the former coach at Jacksonville State, she's been around the Division I level for quite some time. What's impressed you about her performance here at St. Andrews?
Well, she's done a great job. They're coming off a really good season there last year. She's been around the block and back. She's a seasoned coach. I know Yvette way back when she was at Belmont working with Alicia Clark, who was one of the best players in the country at the time. when she was working with Tony Bennett there, and then at Jacksonville State, doing just a super job with her team and the program there.
It's been a tough go of it for St. Andrews in this first quarter as Campbell heating up. Serrano hits the first 3 of the season for Campbell, and then swinging the ball around to Kiana Spate. Campbell 1 of 3 from downtown, but they forced 8 turnovers early in this game.
Yeah, Campbell's doing a good job. They're pushing St. Andrews out, is forcing some turnovers, and they're getting their offensive flow going because they're getting down the floor off turnovers and scoring at the opposite end.
So 5 new players in from Campbell out of this timeout break. Brittany Staves trying to lob a pass in to Taya Bolden. It's stripped, goes right back to her. Out now to Coleman with a shot fake. Coleman clears the whole defense and lays it in.
Well, good job Coleman getting to the basket. St. Andrews fell asleep there on the offside, but great job by Coleman.
Taya Bolden forcing a turnover. Taya, an all-conference defender. She can really impact the game on the boards. Now Nuremberg for a triple. And there's Bolden on the glass. Taya Bolden doing what she can do best with an and one.
I mean, it's amazing, her innate ability to rebound the basketball. She's always in the right spot on the boards.
Taya Bolden, 3rd in the conference in rebounds last year. And a menace on the boards in this first quarter is driving in and scoring is Dominique Cook, the sophomore.
There we find Campbell a little slow there on the backside, helping out.
Michaela Coleman, no hesitation, and she goes up with the left hand.
Hey, she's ready. She said, put me in, coach. I'm ready to go.
Coleman, a 42% shooter last year. A couple of layups in this first quarter. And back come the Knights. They've made their last 2 baskets from the field.
St. Andrews having a hard time getting at the right angle to feed their post player. They got some good ideas, and their post looks open, but they're feeding her off the wrong angle from time to time, and Campbell's doing a great job of taking those passes away.
Melvin trying to bank it in, and Bolden sees a wide open lane. Taya Bolden coast to coast.
Campbell creating chemistry off their defensive ability to force turnovers.
So we'll stay here during the timeout as Taya Bolden, she sees an avenue and takes advantage. How about her creativity here?
Yeah, she said, hey, I get some adrenaline going off of getting that offensive rebound and then taking that pass away at the opposite end of the floor.
4 points and 2 rebounds for Taya Bolden in the span of 2 quick minutes. Nice to have instant impact off the bench for Ronnie Fisher's club.
Both she and Coleman have wasted no time as they've gotten into the game making things happen, that's for sure.
8 points from Ronnie Fisher's bench. He's in his 4th year as the Campbell head coach, trying to win his 60th game at Campbell. And Wanda, you can certainly appreciate this. He's now the most active winning coach in the Big South. What has he done so well over this last decade?
Hey, Coach Fisher's just a great teacher of the game. I mean, he's a tremendous teacher, and he's been very successful. At Presbyterian, it was Big South Coach of the Year. At Campbell, he's been Big South Coach of the Year. I mean, he's just so dedicated.
Here's an errant pass, and Taya Bolden takes it away. She wants more points. Instead, comes up short. And fighting for the rebound comes Courtney Rowe, drawing the foul on Svenja Nuremberg. Courtney Rowe, who set a program record for assists with her club last year at St. Andrews. And you see Nuremberg committing the foul.
Yeah, Rowe is she's tremendous as she sees the floor with 5 assists last year a game.
Back come the Knights, trying to slip it into Melvin. She throws it out of bounds. And a turnover for St. Andrews. That's 10 turnovers in this first quarter, a stigma of what Ronnie Fisher wants to do defensively.
And Campbell's doing a great job of defending that post player. St. Andrews is having some problems getting the ball inside. They're looking in the right spot, but they're having some problems getting it there, and I think a lot of it has to do with the Campbell aggressive defense inside.
Coleman slips into the key and draws a foul. Michaela Coleman showing some aggressive nature in this first quarter. And that's on Dominique Cook.
Get a good look here. Hey, she got that half step, took it to the basket, and she's done that 3 or 4 times since she's been in this basketball game. Very productive.
Both teams with 4 fouls in this first quarter. Michaela Coleman, only 4 points per game last year. Not a prolific scorer, but we're starting to see her be more aggressive this season.
Yeah, I mean, she's worked on her offense. Obviously, she's a tremendous defender, especially on point guards throughout the league. But Now we see her offense going to work tonight instantly as soon as she hits the floor.
This is Mackenzie Terry, the sophomore guard, checking in for St. Andrews. They've given up a 23-5 run in these last 6 minutes. How about the ball pressure on Rowe, the point guard? That's Faith Price, the freshman, in there defensively. As Ronnie Fisher empties out his bench. Tough shot from Samantha Ring, and she nails it.
Tell you, she can shoot it. She doesn't need but just a breath away to knock that in. She just...
Ring, a 42% shooter from long range. Meanwhile, Bolden tries to kickstart the offense. This is Brittany Staves, the freshman, and an offensive rebound by Michaela Coleman. Back over to Price. And Faith Price.
Hey, look at the freshman go.
From the men's three-point line, extends her range and adds on to the lead, up 16. Melvin drawing some defenders, kicking it out to Rowe. And Nuremberg secures the rebound. Svenja running the fast break.
Campbell, good up-tempo getting the ball down the floor, but slowing it back down. Hey, nice move by the freshman again.
Svenja Nuremberg deking out the defense. That flight from Luxembourg is 9 hours, but she is looking very close to home here in the paint. Another tough three for St. Andrews. That's an air ball attempted there by Natalie Graham. And back comes Brittany Staves, the freshman, lobbing it into Bolden. A little disjoint as we hit the final minute of this first quarter. Staves for three, and it bounces in.
Hey, they're all getting a piece of the pie.
Campbell with 3 made shots from downtown in this first quarter and a 21-point lead. Rowe works on Price, the freshman. Melvin slips in with the left hand and can't finish. St. Andrews now 4 of 10 from the field.
Don't get but one chance at the basket when Bolden's in there. She's going to land that rebound.
Campbell shooting 62%. There's an open look for Faith Price. That rattles out. Bolden wants a foul. Instead, bounces it in. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter. Another contested three, and Graham nails it. Natalie Graham made 4 threes in her season debut. That's the 3rd three of the night for St. Andrews.
They're shooting as a team 50% from three-point territory.
Campbell can hold for the final shot in this 33-point first quarter as Coleman runs the point. Down to 5. Out to Staves. Brittany with 2 on the clock. Slips it back to Coleman. And just 1 second to work with as Campbell commits its 5th turnover of the quarter.
Well, there we get a glimpse of Campbell just really being unselfish.
Last chance here for St. Andrews to close out the first. Graham tosses it up. Rowe gets it off in time. Ooh. And that is out. Good look by Graham. Campbell, a 33-point first quarter. St. Andrews trailing by 20 as we go to the second here on ESPN+. It's been all Campbell's bench so far and a quick lead here in the first. Start of the second quarter here inside Gore Arena. The start of the college basketball season, and Campbell heated up. 60% shooting, off to a 20-point lead. Joined by Hall of Fame coach Wanda Watkins, Evan Budrovich with you. And Tatiana Carver in her first minutes of the season comes up short on the three. Nani Carver, a neat story, missed all of last year with an ankle injury. High-energy player, and the redshirt freshman is back and hoping to make an impact off this bench.
Good to see that young lady back out on the floor. She's endured a lot.
McNamara Clement forces a turnover. That's now 12 for the Knights. And here comes Carver putting on a dribbling display. Carver goes all the way to the basket. That's an offensive foul. As Laura McNamara Clement, a moving screen, trying to help out her teammate.
Yeah. Just, again, just got in a little bit of a hurry. You got to wait for it to get by before you can do that.
That sounds like positive coach talk to me there, Wanda Watkins. Back come the Knights. They made 3 3-pointers in that first quarter. Bulk of their offense, and now Rowe jacks one up. That did touch Haley Barber. So it stays on this end of the floor. Did not hit the rim, so the shot clock does not reset. They'll move it up to 20.
Campbell staying hard in their man-to-man defense here on this inbound.
Keep an eye out for that shot clock this year, folks. A new point of emphasis. It'll reset to 20 on missed shots or fouls. Here's Haley Barber, fresh off a turnover. Barber slips it behind her back to Spate.
That's what she does so well. She could have gone up herself, but she so unselfishly threaded the needle there to Spate. Doesn't get much prettier than that.
From one point guard to another, Campbell has some versatility with this lineup as Samantha Ring now tests Barber defensively. Tenacious defense on this possession, giving trouble for the Knights. Kertret's pass is deflected. That goes off St. Andrews, looking for Graham. And the 13th turnover for the Knights.
Yeah, these mirror deflections and fumbles of the ball, you can see that time and time again. And a lot of that is attributed to the defense that Campbell's employed out on the floor. They're pushing their offense way out on the perimeter and making it uncomfortable for them to handle the basketball.
St. Andrews in their win over Regent University, 30 assists on 36 made baskets. That'll definitely let a coach fall asleep pretty quickly at night, as this pass is intercepted by the Knights. Back comes St. Andrews. They're looking for their first points in this quarter. And there you go, off the window. That's Harmony Davidson.
Pretty good move by Davidson going up that time. She's a southpaw anyway, I think. But, hey, she went up over 2 players that time.
Davidson, the transfer from Lewisburg College, just north of Raleigh. Thule right in her comfort zone and nails her first triple of the evening.
Silky smooth. And just smooth and fluid.
Back comes St. Andrews. Carver to the floor, trying to force a turnover. And Davidson's tied up for a jump ball. We're seeing the instant impact of Nani Carver in her first 2 minutes off the bench.
Well, I tell you, Nani looks like she's picked up some even more speed. She was already quick. She's really picked up some speed and is all over the place out there.
Now you bring in, if you're Campbell, the sophomore point guard, Luana Serrano, out of Lisbon, Portugal. We're working on my accent this offseason.
You do that well.
Dangerous inbounds pass, rolling towards the floor, and Serrano can't keep it in play. Fighting for it there with St. Andrews number 10, Madison Gatewood, the freshman.
Lauren McNamara Clement doing a super job of just being that interior defensive player that Coach Fisher was talking about with you in the interview the other day, Evan. Which makes it difficult for those posts inside.
Hampton now with a long 2, and Serrano looking to push. Spate open for 3, and there you go.
Tell you, they landed a good one in that one. Coach has got to be pleased.
Kiana Spate, the Davidson transfer. She made 71 threes last year. How does she help this offense, especially from long range?
Well, she's so consistent, too, and her experience shines through. You can see that. She averaged over 10 points for them last year, and she's got the swag and she's got the know-how.
McNamara Clement with a size mismatch on young Brooke Bradford. And free throws on the way for the junior.
Good turn to the basket by Lauren, but she ran into two players at the same time that got her.
Not only is McNamara Clement getting the start tonight, she is the team leader in the Campbell Student Athlete Advisory Committee, set to be the president, incumbent president next year of the student organization. And certainly, Coach, you work on the faculty side here at Campbell. Nice to have a leader on this team in McNamara Clement.
Yeah, what a tremendous leader she is on and off the floor. Just a great young lady.
And a much smarter GPA than I. She's got a 3.9 at Campbell. Kiana Spate getting into the passing lane there, aiming for Brooke Bradford. And if you're Ronnie Fisher, that's just what you want to see from this defense.
Yeah, they're after it. They're getting their hands on a lot, causing a lot of fumbles, a lot of deflections, and really making it hard on their interior game.
There's the sharpshooter, Samantha Ring, coming up strong. That's her first miss from long range.
Did she miss one?
Just right there. It took her a quarter and a half to do so. Tooley left open. Risky business, and Shai Tooley's perfect from long range.
Hey, 46 points with 6 minutes to go in half. Not bad offensive productivity when you're playing your entire bench.
Campbell only averaged 58 a game last year. Ronnie Fisher has to be pleased. Here's a free throw jumper for Hampton, and it bounces in. Sierra Hampton, the senior from Mars Hill University, a transfer, and Spate goes right down the floor for the 50 mark.
Campbell's really upping their offensive level. I mean, they're pushing the ball up the floor. Scored instantly off that.
Serrano trying to pick the pocket of the young guard, and she does in Davidson. Easy move for Serrano, and you see the transition baskets really coming into rhythm.
Yeah. Defense is creating offense for Campbell.
This is a 15-2 run and a over and back dribble, a carry for St. Andrews. You see that 5-player substitution for Ronnie Fisher. He's going to go to his second unit. But in talking to Ronnie Fisher leading up to this game, he feels just as confident with unit, let's say, B, as he does with unit A.
Yeah, well, he's got so much experience. You know, he played these players for the last 2 years. These players have played a lot. They've gotten a lot of playing time for him. And even his new players or newcomers are being very productive.
Bolden begging for it in the post. And instead, Brittany Staves drives in, drawing a foul on Samantha Ring. Second foul on Ring, the leading scorer for St. Andrews.
You know you've got a good unit, you've got a good team when you can go to your bench fluidly like he's going tonight, and it just keeps lifting. There's no drop-off at all.
Brittany Staves from Lee Hills Road High School up in Raleigh. The homegrown kid makes her first free throw of the night. She was a two-sport athlete, an all-conference volleyball player and basketball player. You see the size.
Strong.
She looks to have the part to impact right away.
Strong, physical, yeah, really nice, outgoing young lady as well.
St. Andrews trying to break a 17-2 run against them. Into the hands of Courtney Rowe, the point guard. Throws it off the arms of Coleman and is taken away. Taya Bolden running the point. And like a fish out of water, Bolden has it stripped loose by Rowe. Rowe led St. Andrews in steals last year. Her first pickpocket of the night. Backing down Svenja Nuremberg. Slips it over to Bradford. Now into the post, and Bolden steals it, trying to find Sierra Hampton. Bolden is doubled, and that is last touched by Taya Bolden. As Campbell gives it away. We have immediate timeout here in the second quarter. It's been all Campbell in the second, now leading 52-17. We'll give you the final 4 minutes and we come back here on ESPN Plus.
Be interested.
I wanted
I can't believe it.
That cab brought his karaoke machine.
nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why you say
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Bon boy.
Bon voy.
Discover the new language of travel.
Bon voy.
Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
I want it.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why. You say
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, we talked about Christmas morning. How about a nice batch of popcorn for that young girl? Campbell is cruising here in the second quarter, and certainly an impressive start for this Campbell unit here to open up the season.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, their defense is really pushing their offense now, and they're not doing a whole lot wrong these days.
That's a 5-second violation trying to inbound the basketball. And Wanda Watkins, a former head coach in this conference, a Hall of Fame coach. Get to watch what Ronnie Fisher has done since taking over this program 4 years ago. What's impressed you about his tenure here at Campbell?
Oh, Coach Fisher, I mean, he wasted no time. I mean, he's done a great job. It does an old coach's heart good to see somebody hop in and do the job that he's doing.
And his unit approaching a 40-point lead here in this first half. Brittany Staves just made a 3 a second ago. And now back come the Knights. Melvin slips it out to Rowe. Right back into Melvin, guarded by Taya Bolden.
One of their first post touches in a long, long time.
Here's a tough look by McDonald. Melvin gets the rebound, and she can't finish. This run's now 20-2 for Campbell.
Campbell really going with an up-tempo now.
And that was an area that Ronnie Fisher mentioned to us coming in. He wanted to see his team be quicker with the basketball. Where have you noticed that tonight from this unit?
I've noticed it from the very beginning of the game. I commented at the very beginning of the game, it looked like they were really going to go with a big up-tempo. And it's really benefiting them.
A much calmer demeanor from Ronnie Fisher tonight than the last time we saw him here in the WBI, the postseason. His team made it to the semifinals of that tournament, their longest run in the postseason in program history. But as he mentioned, it's a new slate and a new season. Trying to move to 1-0 tonight. St. Andrews searching for a bucket here in this corner, and they get it. A long triple, that's going to count for Mackenzie Terry. St. Andrews now 4 of 10 from long range. They've just struggled to avoid turnovers. Coleman on a double team, finds Staves, open for 3. Bolden volleyball taps it to herself and plays wall ball.
Tell you, God blessed her with an innate ability, didn't he?
Bolden led the Big South in offensive rebounds last year. Now she has a wide open layup. Partially blocked, and Bolden is now in double figures with 10. It's like clockwork watching Bolden tonight.
Yeah, it really is. She's doing it at both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. She's gotten her hands on a lot of balls, had some steals. That's at least 3, I think.
Look at Bolden trying to weave through this defense. She finds Faith Price. Nuremberg, the offensive rebound, gets it back herself. Well, a third try. Another 3 for Price. Kid in the candy store right now, so many offensive chances, and Bolden says, I'll take care of it. She leads Campbell in scoring with 12, and that's going to force a timeout call by Yvette Sparks as Campbell continues to get quality looks at the basket.
Tay Bolden, 12 points, missed 1 bucket, 5 rebounds in eight minutes. Pretty productive.
So if you're St. Andrews coming off a 95-point outing, a different level of competition from the Appalachian Athletic Conference in the NAIA style of play, but a learning experience tonight for Yvette Sparks, the head coach. Her team played well in the first quarter, but it started to get out of hand here in the second.
Yeah, Yvette, she's using this, another great teacher of the game as well. You can see her over there. I mean, she's pouring her heart and soul into this, and they will use this to make their ball club better.
Gaylord the Campbell seems to be having fun here on Christmas morning in college basketball. He didn't get the high five, though, so that's the one thing he's got to work on.
Yeah, he must have left Gladys at home tonight. I don't see her tonight. Maybe she's getting rested up for the holidays.
We'll see Campbell back at home on November 25th, their next home contest. St. Andrews 1-0 on the year, and now a turnover as Rowe tried to find her sharpshooter, Mackenzie Terry. By the way, that's now 22 turnovers in the first half for the Knights.
You know, I mean, it's a good defensive Campbell basketball team, too. And they're just a little flustered right now. I'm sure she'll regroup them a little at halftime.
Here's an open look for Faith Price, and that's the first triple of the quarter for the freshman. She's got 6 points and 8 3-pointers for Campbell tonight.
Good help defense by Campbell. Everybody's helping.
And now Campbell has emptied its bench entirely. This is the walk-on, Julia Crocker, coming into the ball game. Julia out of Durwood, Maryland, her first minutes of the season. And you have to love those moments when every player can get involved.
Oh, yeah. And, hey, she'll have her trigger cocked. She's a good shooter, too.
Here's the 22nd turnover. As Faith Price takes it, she'll draw a foul on Courtney Rowe. Just the 4th team foul, so one away from the bonus. You start to see the mistakes pile up here for St. Andrews, a little bit of frustration kicking in.
Yeah, I'm sure halftime, like I said, I'm sure they'll regroup.
Evan Budrovich and former Campbell Hall of Fame coach Juana Watkins with you tonight, as every player is now checked in for Campbell in this high-scoring first half. This is Ashlyn Hampton working in the block, trying to work a post move on Melvin, and can't secure it. Back comes Samantha Ring, the leading scorer, with 6 points for St. Andrews. Nani Carver tight defensively on Rowe. An off-balance shot, and it falls in. These guards of Rowe and Ring have been lethal tonight.
Yeah, they are. You know, they're hanging in there, and they're still pushing.
That's a kick ball on Samantha Ring as we hit the final minute 12 of this first half. St. Andrews and Campbell have met 5 times in their history, and once was just back 3 years ago. The seniors on this roster for Campbell were freshmen.
Coach Fisher's first year.
And Samantha Ring, she got the start. Did not make a 3, but she started for St. Andrews as well. Carver, a step-back triple. An offensive rebound by Brittany Staves. A triple team on Hampton, and that forces a turnover. This is Ring slowly bringing it up the floor.
St. Andrews doing a good job tripling down that time on the post.
Samantha Ring not afraid to shoot, but that's off the side of the backboard.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Crocker moving at 100 miles an hour, and she slips it away. Final 35 seconds, maybe a 2-for-1 chance. Rowe finds Melvin, easy layup.
Good pass by Rowe. You could see that assist ability in her. That was a beautiful pass.
5 assists for the Knights in this first half. Staves an open triple, and Brittany Staves up to 11 points.
Oh, 9 for 18, shooting 50%.
St. Andrews can hold for the final shot. Last chance here for Terry. Finds Ring and rattles it in to close out the first half. Led by a 12-point first half from Taya Bolden. Campbell up to 67 points, running away with things here in this first half. A 67-26 lead at the break. When we come back, the Geico halftime report. as Bolden doing it all offensively, defensively, and finishing in a high-scoring affair on ESPN+. Welcome back to the Geico Halftime Report. Campbell off and running a 67-26 score here through 20 minutes of play. A reminder, Big South fans, Geico is a proud sponsor of the Big South Conference. So the best rates book with Geico today by visiting geico.com. Wait, no. Visit bigsouthsports.com/Geico. It's game one, guys. We're all learning on the fly. Here for your famous discounts and more. Thank you for joining us here on ESPN+. It has been a high-scoring affair. Evan Budrovich and Wanda Watkins with you. And, Coach, we've seen a bunch of freshmen step up and make an instant impact in this first half.
Yeah, it's been exciting for Campbell. I mean, as we talked about throughout the broadcast, there's not been a lull at all. Every time Coach Fisher goes to the bench, they come in and it's like they jump start, and it just keeps getting better and better, which has a lot to do with their productivity. Defensively, they've forced 23 turnovers, and they're playing offense off their defense consistently.
Brittany Staves led all freshmen with 11 points. You see her there with the triple, helping Campbell. The bench was impressive in the first half, really carrying the load for Campbell offensively. When we come back, we'll show you some stats and highlights from half number one as Campbell up 67-26.
Well, we're looking at a great halftime lead by Campbell, 67-26. And great productivity off the bench tonight by Campbell. They're really doing well as a unit, creating some problems for St. Andrews from an offensive standpoint, making it really difficult on getting the ball into their post players, and really capitalizing as a unit tonight. So you can look at the statistics here and take a look at the shooting productivity that you can see. And certainly Campbell's only given up 1 offensive rebound tonight, but forced 23 turnovers, which has made a huge difference in the impact of this game.
Certainly, Coach. I'll tell you what, the free throws have been great to see, 12 for 12. But give me a sense here, when you're shooting 50% from 3, 9 of 18, how could that impact your offense?
Yeah, I tell you, it really does. I mean, but the Campbell's defense has just been so fluid consistently by everybody on their team tonight. It has created those problems for them.
So Campbell, a 31-point lead at the break. When we come back, more from the Geico Halftime Report here inside Gore Arena. Time for the start of the second half. Campbell is 67-26 halftime lead. The bench scored 39 points. The team shot nearly 60%. What's not to like from Campbell in that first half?
Yeah, 60% from the floor, 50% from three-point territory, and 100% from the line. It's hard to be unhappy about any of that.
Certainly for Campbell, a red-hot start. Welcome to the first day of college basketball across the landscape. And for Campbell, this road gets a little tougher here coming up. They'll go to Old Dominion on Friday, a perennial program with a fantastic 20-win campaign last year. Then Western Carolina, NC Central. So it may be nice tonight, but this is a building block for games coming up.
Oh, absolutely. Everything's building. You know, Coach is going to be building on every game now as he leads up to that those December conference games coming along the way.
For St. Andrews, this is an exhibition game on their record officially, but they're 1-0 on the season. Coming off a 16-win campaign, their best ever in NAIA program history. And we're seeing a St. Andrews bunch that can shoot the ball. They've just struggled with 23 turnovers.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they can. They can shoot the three ball. You know, and you got to give them credit. They lost their big gun coming off of last year's season. A double-digit scorer and a double-digit rebounder.
You're underselling Morgan Perkins. She was the player of the year in her league. 21 points a game. And a major scorer is Shai Tooley, set to inbound the basketball and start half number 2. If you're keeping track at home, folks, 102 points is the record for points scored here in Gore Arena. Already 67 through 20 minutes of play. Might be 70. Instead, a shot fake by Serrano. Out to Spate for the long triple. That new men's line, you've seen a lot of players shoot from that white stripe, but they only have to shoot from the black as St. Andrews turns it over to start the half.
You know, that's a big argument by a lot of people. When you have 2 3-point lines out there, a lot of times people shoot from that back one without even looking. Makes it difficult, I think.
Campbell struggled to shoot from long range last year, just 30% as a team. Barber, step through, rolls it up and lands it in.
She can make it happen, can't she?
That was a creative finish by Barber.
Great extra effort by her.
Haley Barber, the leading scorer from last season at 9 points per game. The only team in the Big South that didn't have a double-figure score. That just speaks to the depth of this unit.
Yeah. Just good, solid team play and playing a lot of people often.
Great slip by Melvin. And Yatiana Melvin with her first points of the half. Quick move to Laura McNamara Clement, an early miss from the junior. Back comes Courtney Rowe, the point guard. Great slip pass, trying to find Samantha Ring, and it's stolen away by Campbell. Barber, a chest pass, out in front to Serrano, and an easy layup.
And Barber really showing her passing ability and ability to see the open floor there.
Serrano started 15 games last year as a freshman. Here she is off the bench, making an impact.
Campbell switching out on the perimeter on these ball screens up front.
Melvin, contested shot. Might have been deflected by McNamara Clement. And here comes Campbell. Barber sprinting in.
They're not slowing down a bit, that's for sure.
Offensive rebound, McNamara Clement. Serrano left open. Here's a three. And a defensive rebound for Natalie Graham. Campbell tonight, 9 of 20 from long range. They've not been afraid to shoot it. Back come the Knights. Working at the elbow is Graham. Gets it out to Rowe. Serrano not giving her an inch on this possession. Here's a three for Dominique Cook. And Serrano forced to make something happen here. Tooley flips it to Barber. She swings it out to Spate. Here's another three. Campbell 0 for 3 from downtown to start this half.
Good extra effort by McNamara Clement, tipping that offensive rebound, keeping it alive for her team.
Spate right into the body of Melvin. And 2 free throws on the way for Kiana Spate, the grad transfer from Bradenton, Florida.
She got that first step, took her straight to the basket.
So that's not a restricted arc foul. That's more of just the contact of the defender, right?
Absolutely.
As you see that shooting arc, it's been extended this year for the defensive team. Another part of the rule changes in college basketball. Doesn't stop Spate, who now has 11 points in her first career start for Campbell.
She's going to be a good one.
Yeah, 10 points a game last year at Davidson. It was ironic. She was the only player on Campbell's team to score double figures last year, and it wasn't even for Campbell. Saranya trying to pick the pocket of Rowe. Instead, a nice bounce pass and a bank shot rolling in. Madison Gatewood. First of all, I love the hair from Gatewood. And secondly, how about that shot, banking it in?
How about that?
Speaking of shooting, Spate's been unleashed. That's her third three.
He's picking right up where she left off in the first half.
Saranya trying to force a turnover here. She's been up in the grill of Courtney Rowe.
Campbell's defense again has got them pushed completely out on the perimeter, making it difficult for them.
Shot clock down to 10. St. Andrews, they've yet to make a shot in this half. All free throws, and there's your first. Samantha Ring on the slip.
Good backdoor cut there by Ring.
Ring leads St. Andrews with 8 points. Saranya, meanwhile, throws it over to the bench. And we have a turnover. We also have a set of 5 substitutions here for Campbell, so a second unit, if you will. Taya Bolden, who led Campbell in scoring in that first half with 12, also had 6 steals to power this defense.
And 5 rebounds, you know, just using her time wisely. That's how I think a coach would say that. And most all of Campbell's players are doing that. They're just getting a tremendous fluidness about them in the game tonight. Coming in and out of the game, they're just not losing a whole lot.
Campbell has forced 25 turnovers in this ball game. Big part of their success defensively. Rowe bounces it out to Gatewood, and she's fouled. That's Taya Bolden reaching in. And in fact, no, it's going to be off the body of Gatewood. So no foul, but a turnover.
Bolden taking a deep breath on that, I'm sure.
Staves at the free throw line, gets it out to Faith Price, the freshman. She lobs it into Bolden. This is what Taya can do best, muscling up for an easy layup.
Yeah, she went right between the two of them. Went up and got it, had to go up high to do that, and then turned and went through, split both of them.
Taya Bolden led Campbell with 12 double-doubles last year. She's getting close to it here in this third quarter. Ring sizing up Coleman. And a block, but the foul is called on Michaela Coleman.
Good extra effort by St. Andrews getting that offensive rebound. We've not seen a lot of them. Campbell held them to 1 offensive rebound in the first half, and so it was a good extra effort for them, and it paid off for them.
Samantha Ring, a neat story. The Carthage, North Carolina native, set her program record in three-pointers. She also set her high school record in Union Pines for three-pointers made. This girl can shoot at any level.
Yeah, she's a tremendous shooter. To take the number of three-point shots she took last year, 220, and hit 43% of them is excellent.
To put that into reference, Campbell's leading shooter at Caroline Bounds attempted 150. Don't tell Svenja Nierenberg, that's her first 3 of the half. And Svenja now up to 5 points. Both teams scoring with fluid motion in this third quarter, and a reach-in foul on Brittany Staves. Getting close to our media timeout here in this third quarter. Campbell knocking on the door of a 90-point barn burner in this third quarter.
Yeah, well above their average last year. Coach Fisher was wanting some offensive consistency early on. What do you think he thinks about this, Evan?
Certainly can't be mad about 57% from the field. Here's a catch-and-shoot shot. Coming up short there was Natalie Graham. Price running the transition. Price says, I'm going to go to the bucket. Can't finish, and the tip drill is recovered by Gatewood. Out in front to Courtney Rowe. Little step-through pass. Here's a 3 for Dominique Cook, and that one's silky smooth.
Good transition by St. Andrews that time.
St. Andrews, they're shooting 47%. It hasn't been the offense. It's been the turnovers giving them trouble. And we have a timeout on the court. Our media timeout here in the third. Campbell off and rolling here in their home opener. More basketball after this on ESPN+.
1 point.
Discover the new language of travel.
Bon voy.
Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
I want it.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why. You say.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I want it.
I can't believe.
Welcome back inside Gore Arena. Campbell off to a red-hot start, shooting 47% from the field. Records might be falling tonight. 81-37 your score. Joined by the Hall of Fame head coach Wanda Watkins, Evan Budrovich with you tonight. And this is a season opener. You're expected to win this game, but what's impressed you about Campbell's performance? 12 players coming into the ball game and plenty of offense to show for it.
Yeah, I mean, they look just as good from top to bottom and bottom to top. I mean, they're mixing it up well. Their chemistry looks really super for this time of the year. I know Coach Fisher's got to have a smile. Maybe he's not showing it over there, but like you said, Evan, he hasn't come out of that jacket yet tonight.
Looks like Ronnie Fisher's all business right now, trying to hold down this defense. By the way, those shoes he bought, they're brand new shoes. His daughter got them for him. Try to impress his work game. Someone
looking
called
nice
swag.
over there.
Taya Bolden showing off her skill in the post. Nuremberg on a shot fake. Ball movement aplenty, and Coleman has to operate with 10 on the clock. Staves gets fouled on the three, and that's 3 free throws on the way for the freshman out of Raleigh.
Those are the things that keep coaches awake at night when that shot clock's going down and you foul.
Second free throw on the way for the freshman who averaged 18 a game in high school. Now, of course, you can put a magic eraser on that because this is college basketball, but so far for Brittany Staves, 12 points and continuing to make her presence felt.
She's proving she can play right away, that's for sure.
An offensive rebound by Nuremberg, and the Camels reset. Svenja for 3. Harder rebound and the foul. Bolden commits the foul. And the rebound snatched in there by Natalie Graham. So as Graham inbounds it, Hampton and Tatiana Carver return for Campbell.
I tell you, I've been impressed by the speed of Price. She's really quick and athletic and gets up and down the floor.
That's the freshman number 1 defensively. Here's Gatewood spinning to her left, drawing the foul, count the bucket, and a chance for a three-point play.
A good finish by Gateway. Going up strong.
A little bit of movement early before the shot, but nothing called. And it's a 43-point difference here in the third quarter. Faith Price, the freshman, airballs that attempt. A little bit of a low-scoring third quarter after the way things started. Here's a long triple.
out.
We know Ring can make it. She comes up off the front rim, and Hampton secures the rebound. Carver, a high step, has Coleman breaking this press. St. Andrews trying to force a turnover. There's the turnover. Courtney Rowe with the steal. Out in front to Samantha Ring.
Beautiful pass by Rowe.
And stripped away. Nani Carver forces an impressive turnover.
You got to love that because she didn't hang her head down at this end of the floor. She went back down the floor and got it.
Here's Michaela Coleman out to Price. Good looking triple, and she sinks it. That's her third three of the night.
3 for her. She's impressive. It's going to be a good one.
Faith Price out of Jamestown, North Carolina. Here's a step-through move and a miss for Courtney Rowe. Back comes Nuremberg. Carver trying to catch it with an offhand. And a turnover. As we're under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Campbell well in line for their first win of the season. Coming off a 23-win campaign. You can add Nani Carver to the equation. How can that help out with an extra player who did not participate last year?
Absolutely. You know, and I'm impressed with the newcomers on this team too. Those in addition to all the experience that Campbell returned and the addition to Carver. It's going to be a great year ahead.
Back come the Knights. They've scored 14 points in this quarter and a beautiful crossover from Cook, nailing the jumper past Nuremberg.
Cook's warming up a little bit.
Nani Carver, she wants an NBA range three, and why not? Tatiana Carver, her first points of the season.
Another one of those players that can really be exciting to watch, Carver.
Working inside to Rowe, there's a foul. And Faith Price commits the harm. Couple of free throws upcoming for the senior guard, Courtney Rowe.
She's a big bonus for this team.
Courtney Rowe, the Gadsden State Community College transfer. Misses her first. Courtney Rowe this past season, 12th in all of NAIA basketball in assists, top 20 in shooting percentage. Can make a lot of plays for Yvette Sparks Club. And Rowe with the free throw now has 3 points and 5 assists tonight. Coleman sprints in, feeds the open Price. Offensive rebound, and Hampton finishes it off.
Good extra effort by Hampton because she had to work to get around her opponent to get that offensive rebound.
Back comes Cook. Cook, who just crossed over Nuremberg, now has Coleman defensively. Couple of switches for this Campbell D. Rowe up top, the point guard, guarded by Nuremberg.
Doing a lot of perimeter switching on these screens.
Shot clock down to 7. Rowe with 4 on the clock. Down to 1. This will count, but an air ball. And a shot clock violation by St. Andrews.
Again, good extra effort by Campbell. Good solid defense that time for holding them for 30 seconds.
That's Sierra Hampton checking in, the senior from Spring Lake, North Carolina. A much more competitive third quarter as Campbell now up by 48. Coleman back up to Carver. Here's the three on the way, just short. Hampton skies for the rebound, and a jump ball is called. Possession goes the other way. It's St. Andrews basketball.
You gotta love Hampton though. She's always battling. Coach's kind of player, just hardy, gets after it, never lets up. There's another switch.
This is Hannah Brigham, the freshman, getting it out to Rowe.
And
Rowe
another
on
switch.
the switch.
That's a big mismatch.
Let's see if Brigham can take advantage. The freshman's poked loose by Faith Price and a turnover. Carver, eyes looking down the court. Price for an open three.
Look out. Oh.
14 made threes for Campbell, and we're in the third quarter.
She said, "Who says I'm a freshman?"
Price now up to 12 points. Campbell's feeling it offensively tonight. 94.
It reminds me of the night when they were in the tournament at High Point. You remember that, Evan? Well,
that was an 86-point night. Campbell couldn't miss from three.
It was that kind of chemistry, you know.
A nice response from three of Brooke Bradford, the freshman. And now the final seconds here in the third. Carver breaks the press, launches it up. That ends the third quarter. Campbell trying to set some program records tonight. The offense has been up to the living. 94-46 our score as we head to the fourth here on ESPN Plus. Campbell is off and running, and Gaylord the Campbell's heading for the bleacher seats. He's heading for the parking lot. 94 points for Campbell, breaking their season high from last year, and that might be a record tough to top after the way this thing's been rolling so far.
Sounds like a final game score, not a third quarter score, huh?
Haley Barber, who started this game, connects for a triple. And Campbell's now 3 points away from the century mark. Well, we knew Campbell was going to score more than 58 a game this year, but 97 is a tantalizing start.
I tell you, they're just having trouble doing a whole lot wrong offensively. Coach has got to be pleased with their offensive consistency. I know that was something he really wanted them to improve on this year, and wow, they're off and running.
Harmony Davidson misses the scoop shot. Back comes Barber. Haley finds an opening. Tooley fakes the shot. Right to her elbow, Jay, and that's perfect.
Good move off the bounce by Tooley that time.
And we were talking with Ronnie Fisher. Parlada was how impressed he was by Shai Tooley's pull-up game.
Oh, yeah. He said he had not ever coached a girl any better. You know, that's a big statement coming from Coach Fisher.
12 years of experience in the Big South and many more. Started as a manager at Furman, made his way up to the coaching ranks. Contested shot and a great finish that time. That's Brittany McDonald, the sophomore. As the offense for St. Andrews nearing 50 points. Maybe not able to match their 95 from their season opener, but a good performance nonetheless. Barber the floater, and there you go. The century mark has been eclipsed.
Barber taking what she had right there. You know, the defense stayed with Clement. She took it to the hoop. Good choice.
Working the ball in the post now. This is the freshman, Hannah Brigham, back up top. McDonald floats it to Brigham. Got away with a travel. Nope, there's the call.
Yep.
Wisely pointed out by Elizabeth Crow, our referee. And now for St. Andrews, Mackenzie Terry comes back in. The Knights, with their schedule coming up, they'll play Truett McConnell College on the 7th, so coming up, in fact, in just 2 days. Lose track of time in November with this crossover season, but we're happy to have you with us for the start of college basketball. By the way, Coach, as McNamara Clement scores, this is the earliest start to the basketball season in the last decade.
How about that?
With how the calendar falls.
We were talking in the press conference how we could remember when it always started on December 1. And now, you know, then it used to be the 4th Friday in November. It just gets earlier and earlier. Here we are, early November, playing women's basketball. How about that?
By the way, that basket is a record-worthy point. It's the most points Campbell has ever scored in this arena, 103, breaking their previous record of 102. And I know who the head coach was when that happened.
Well, I tell you what, with a team like this, they're going to be breaking a lot of records this year, I have a feeling.
For folks out of the loop, Wanda Watkins was the head coach in that game. One of her 549 wins. Rowe falls to the floor in a traveling violation. In fact, they still have your banner hanging in this arena. It's a Hall of Fame coach. Wanda's too honest and humble to comment on that, but just pointing it out there.
Too much going on out on the floor tonight. Talk about that.
103 points for Campbell, a record nonetheless. McNamara Clement draws a triple, flips it out to Spate. Here's a 3 on the way.
Oh.
And Kiana Spate heating up 15 points for the graduate transfer.
Just getting better and better.
And a timeout called. That'll be our media timeout as well. Campbell over 100 points. St. Andrews has some work cut out for him in the final 7 minutes here on ESPN Plus. Welcome back inside Gore Arena. There's your record breaker. Laura McNamara Clement put Campbell over the century mark and 103 points and counting. As Campbell set a new home record for scoring. It's been a nice home opener so far in terms of offense. 106 points, and there's still 7 minutes to play.
Yeah, a lot of ball game left to go.
Thanks to Seth Baker and our crew for queuing that one up. He might have a few more to draw up later in this game if the shots keep falling. 59% shooting for Campbell in this game. Here's Samantha Ring falling to the floor and a turnover.
Steps, yeah.
That's the 31st turnover forced by Campbell. Spate lobs it into McNamara Clement. How about the ball movement here? Serrano, guess who's open? It's Spate, the senior. Hits the rim. And the shot clock resets. Ball to the floor now, scooped up by Serrano. Out to Tooley for the triple. And a timeout call by Ronnie Fisher.
What do you think Coach Fisher's going to talk about over there, Evan?
He's going to bring in 5 new subs. That's what he's going to do. Bring in the B team and the A squad. How about this triple by Tooley? That's outside of the men's range. Campbell now 17 three-pointers made tonight.
Making it look easy.
By the way, guys, another record for Campbell. The most three-pointers made in program history in a game.
Going to be some more down the road, I got a feeling.
So now the referees are checking. So that timeout is also a media timeout. So we'll take it with 6:27 to go in the fourth. Campbell up by a bunch here on ESPN Plus. A lot of points have been scored tonight. 17 made three-pointers. Seth Baker just queuing up the graphics all night. Most three-pointers made in program history, and it started right from the opening tip.
Yeah, it's not one, it's all of them. I mean, they're all doing well. Of course, Tooley hasn't missed one yet. She's 3 for 3. Great team effort by Campbell.
Not only 17 threes, but shooting at 50%. That's a winning clip, and a big reason why Campbell now up 109-48 midway through this fourth quarter.
Still,
as a coach, what are you hoping to see with the game out of hand like this over these next 6 minutes?
Well, I just think, you know, you're always using it as a teaching moment, and you just want to continue to get your team to play hard. Both coaches, for that matter. But Campbell's really, I mean, they're still shooting close to 60%, shooting 50% from three-point territory. I mean, they're just really playing well and fluidly offensively.
Intercepted by Bolden, her 7th steal.
Beautiful pass.
Crocker throws it back to Coleman. Everyone getting involved here off the bench. Staves wants a 2.
Hey.
And Brittany Staves now up to 15 points.
Staves is really having a great debut tonight.
1 of 5 in double figures. And ironically enough, 4 have come off the bench. Speaking to the depth of this Campbell team, Samantha Ring, another long 3, and wow, what a shot by Ring. She's got 15 as well.
She could shoot it. You got just a little tangled up there on that screen.
15 of the 51 for St. Andrews tonight, facing a Campbell team that only allowed 56 points per game last year. Crocker, the triple. A bit strong for the walk-on. Campbell's bench wanted it to fall.
The bench would have unloaded if that one had fallen.
Back comes St. Andrews. Open space for Davidson. Crocker right in her face. Now Cartret out to Davidson. Tight defense as the shot clock hits 10. Bolden with a block, and here comes Taya Bolden. Taya draws the foul in open court on Harmony Davidson.
Melvin missed that, but she's got that slipping on that screen down pat, doesn't she?
Excellent work there by Yatiana Melvin, who averaged 10 points per game last year. And now a big group of subs for St. Andrews, including Patience Parker, the sophomore, her first minutes of this game. Both teams going deep into the bench in these final 5 minutes. Nuremberg open for 3. That shot a bit strong. Bolden gets the rebound in traffic. Bolden bangs it to herself. Attempt 3 is in.
I think she's padding her rebounds there. What do you think?
Would seem that way. 16 points and 8 rebounds for Bolden, searching for her first double-double of the season. A lob pass in, good catch, and a great finish by Madison Gatewood.
Yeah, pretty pass too. Good lob pass inside.
St. Andrews now shooting 47%. It's been the turnovers doing them in. 32 mishaps. Bolden right back to the post, has it blocked by Gatewood, and Taya lost her shoe. There comes Taya Bolden without a shoe. Campbell down a body. Bolden's got to put her shoe on, and the 3 is good. Dominique Cook tying it up with a big 3.
Cook getting close to double figures there.
My play on words was poor that time. Bolden dancing, both shoes back on, and the bucket's good.
She said, I like this better with two shoes on.
18 points for Bolden, just 4 shy of her career high. Patience Parker running the point as we hit the 3:40 mark of this final quarter. Parker spins, blocked by Coleman. Here comes Campbell. Staves running the fast break into Taya. Crocker sets a program record for points. And Julia Crocker, the walk-on, hits the triple. All 13 players have scored tonight.
That unloaded the bench on that, didn't it?
Man, what a way to set a program record. Julia Crocker from downtown stepped right into rhythm, and that's the 18th 3 of the night.
That's going to be tough to beat for a while.
118-56 your score. Program records aplenty, including points scored. Nuremberg called for a foul, fighting against the screen. Campbell's first foul of the quarter. How does it feel when you can get all 13 players in and even all 13 score?
Okay, it's a great, fun night. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's something they have fun with.
A lot of bodies slipping and falling on the court right now. Bradford holding on to the basketball, back up to Rowe. Rowe lobs it in. Here comes Aquera Johnson fighting for her rebound, and the fresh shot clock at 20. And stepping out of bounds is Patience Parker. Turnover number 33 for St. Andrews tonight, a club that scored 95 in their season opening win over Regent University. A tough go of it with the turnovers so far, and now Nani Carver brings it up the floor. By the way, the turnovers very common for St. Andrews. Over 30 of them in each of their first 2 games. Carver left open. Man, that white line has been full go
and it
tonight.
Just goes on and on and on.
19 threes, and this is an 8-0 run. Nani Carver right up in the grill of Patience Parker and a jump ball. Keeps it on this end of the floor. There's been no lack of intensity on defense, even in these final 2 minutes.
No, not at all. Carver, some quick hands there. Showing good sportsmanship, trying to help her up.
What's the old saying? Teamwork makes the dream work?
There you go. Seeing some excellent teamwork out of the Campbell team tonight.
Good ball moving by the Knights. Johnson works in the post. Bradford cuts in. Bradford fakes the shot, throws it out to the corner. Shot clock down to 5. McDonald cooks up a long 2 off the backboard. And that did not hit the rim, so a shot clock violation as we hit the 2-minute mark of this fourth quarter. 121 points. That's tough to do against air. And yet Campbell shooting 58% tonight, and they've made 19 threes.
And shooting 50% from three-point territory. It's amazing.
Carver gives it away, now trying to take it back herself, and the Knights will slow it down. Cartret's pass is tipped, goes to Johnson, slips it in the key to Parker, and shot clock now to 10. Parker goes in with the left, chucks it up short, and Hampton wisely slows it down here with 1:20 to go. Hampton just outside the block, wants to add to her totals, draws the foul. Ashlyn Hampton will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Hampton showing her versatility, turning and going with her left hand that time to the basket. Goes both ways well. Goes every way hard. Hard worker.
Ashlyn Hampton, Big South All-Freshman team member 2 years ago. More an off-the-bench presence, 8 points per game for Campbell in a secondary role. Tonight coming off the bench with 4 points and 3 rebounds. There's your 5th point. 122 to 56. What an offensive performance for a team noteworthy for their defense the last couple of years. Nice lob pass into Johnson. She swings it to Bradford. And in the final minute, Bradford misses the left-handed layup. Crocker gets it out to Carver. Nani Carver turning on the Jets. Slips it to Nuremberg. She can't finish. And an over-the-back foul on Svenja Nuremberg. That'll turn the ball over.
You'd rather see them fighting to get that rebound, than not. Working hard to get it, but she just got caught going around her.
Campbell well in line to a season-opening win. They lost their season opener last year against Old Dominion, and they'll face the Monarchs on Friday. Carver picks the pocket of Carteret. Carver full go. Crocker, that's a 3. And a defensive rebound by Johnson. Final 30 seconds. St. Andrews can hold if they like. Instead, a quick drive from McDonald. Shot blocked by Faith Price. That may punctuate the night. Price across the timeline. And now Campbell can hold and milk this clock. A program-setting win. The most points in Campbell program history. A wire-to-wire victory. And your final, Campbell 122, St. Andrews 56. Julia Crocker, the walk-on embraced by her teammates as every player scored. An ideal start for Campbell to open up the season.
Yeah, great night for Campbell. Good momentum going into their next game with ODU, which is going to be a great test for them. But they were impressive tonight in every way.
Taya Bolden is our star of this game, the precision forward player of the game. Bolden, 18 points, 8 rebounds, and she was busy from the start of this contest.
Yeah, she really was. She did it at both ends of the floor. Did a good job stealing the ball, creating offense off of defense. Here we see her going coast to coast on that one. But it was Bolden time and time again doing that tonight.
We want to thank our crew tonight for all their hard work, and alongside Wanda Watkins, Evan Budrovich signing off from Bowie's Creek. Campbell, a program record 122 points, and a nice way to start the season here in Bowie's Creek. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.